From Swedish American, I'm sorry, from UW Health. It's going to take me a while to get that right. Pediatrician Dr. Bill Rank, but we're not going to talk about COVID today. We want to talk about something else. Why are people taking this NyQuil Sleepy Chicken challenge? So basically, people are marinating chicken in NyQuil. I don't know if this is to sleep more, if it's to get over a sickness, or if it's, I honestly don't know what this is about. Who does something like this, Dr. Rank?
Well, I think it's the same individual that swallows Tide Pods or gargles with bleach or shoves garlic up their nose to relieve congestion. It caters to those individuals.
I never heard the garlic one.
Oh, yeah, there was a TikTok thing about that where you put whole garlic cloves up your nose and you leave them for X amount of time, and then they would pull out the garlic cloves, and you would just see all this mucus drain out of their nose, and that's how you relieve sinuses and things like that. Well, the backstory to that is the garlic cloves up your nose makes your nose super congested and runny. So when you pull the garlic cloves out, you're just seeing the aftermath of shoving a dang garlic clove up your nose. It's not draining your sinuses. It's making more goo.
So it's with Sleepy Chicken. And
right.
NyQuil was something I always took my mother always gave me. And I don't know as if it cured anything. I mean, I know there might be some antihistamine in it, but I think really NyQuil's purpose was to make you sleep so deeply that you didn't care at all that you were sick.
Right. And, the cough suppressant in there and the antihistamine both have receptors. They work centrally. They work on the antihistamine receptors the histamine receptors in your nose. But the reason why you get sleepy, not only the alcohol that Benadryl has in it, but the cough suppressants and the antihistamine work centrally on your brain. And then the side effect of that is drowsiness. But, I think with this challenge, it was using a half a bottle of NyQuil to marinate your chicken and then boiling the chicken anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes. Well, if you boil the chicken for 5 minutes, you're at risk of getting salmonella, which is the most common form of, food poisoning in the United States, and it can cause death. And if it doesn't kill you, you get severe cramps and bloody diarrhea, and that doesn't sound good either.
Good grief.
And if you do boil it for 30 minutes and your chicken is properly cooked, then depending on how much NyQuil you used, you're then consuming, a quarter to half a bottle of NyQuil. Nowhere on the directions does it say take a quarter to half a bottle of this, every 4 hours as needed. So those super concentrated medications can cause, hallucinations, brain damage, and depending on the amount you take, it can even cause death. This is a no-joke challenge, and I would plead people, not to get their medical advice from TikTok. Now, there are I've seen some good medical professionals, and they give good information, but if you see a 20-year-old giving you medical advice in his or her kitchen, you might want to take that with a grain of salt.
Right. That's why we love you, Dr. Rank. Maybe it's just me, but I didn't want any part of this from the get-go. Certainly not once you mentioned bloody diarrhea.
You just shouldn't do it. She should do it as directed. I remember even a 4-year-old, when I first started, I admitted a 4-year-old with hallucinations, and he was seeing rats on the wall. And initially I thought, are you having some psychotic event, at 4 years old, which rarely, if ever, happens. And it turned out that he had a cold, and mom was giving him Benadryl. On the bottle it says give every 4 to 6 hours as needed. Well, a couple of days of every 4 to 6 hours as needed. Now the poor kid was, having a bad trip and hallucinating rats attacking him. So it's no joke.